Everyone, this is Hernan Rodriguez with another episode of Tips for Entrepreneurs, Financial Services Entrepreneurs, and it's my pleasure to welcome back today Mr. Pavel Voice or Voix. My French is not that great, Pavel. Sorry if I'm butchering your last name. How do you pronounce it?
Pavel Blas.
Pavel Voix. Mi amigo. So welcome, and thank you. Where are
Absolutely.
you?
Thank you for having me, Hernan.
You're very welcome. Where are you right now? Are you still in Dubai?
Yeah, still in Dubai for another 3 weeks, and then I'll be back in the Americas.
That's great, man. We're gonna call you Christopher Columbus when you're back here, okay? And I hear you're gonna go practice your Spanish and your golf.
Absolutely. Gonna go practice my Spanish, my golf, and obviously my business skills also.
Oh, that's great. Perfect. So, Pavel, we always bring value to everyone that is watching, especially in financial services. And I gotta add that if you're in any other industry, also pay attention to this video because a lot of the tips that we're going to be sharing apply to most industries and they're very transferable for real estate agents and mortgage agents as well. So before we start, I want to say that if you are a real estate agent in the USA and Canada, as well as a mortgage broker, the first tip that I recommend you do is to get your life insurance license as well, because you already have a network, okay, of clients that you can maximize, obviously by helping them out. It's a natural market for mortgage brokers, especially because at least in Canada, they are obligated to offer protection, life insurance protection on those mortgages. In the USA, I'm not sure if they are obligated to offer the life insurance protection side, but I still recommend you do. And if you are not licensed and you don't want to get licensed, you can contact me and I can put you in touch with any of our professional life insurance agents. I have agents in every single state of the USA and in Puerto Rico, as well as a network of life insurance agents across Canada. So that's the first tip. And Pavel, before we start going with a series of other questions, let's play a little bit of ping pong. Ping pong for
All right.
entrepreneurs. Okay. So I'm gonna mention, like a word, and I like you to answer to me quickly with either another single word or a phrase, and then you can ask me something, and I'll just give the first thing that comes to mind. So here we go. Young entrepreneur.
Young entrepreneur, start early before you have responsibilities.
That's excellent. But, take note of that.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
new.
That's how I got started. I'm gonna give you a word now, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Sports and business.
Make sure to focus in both, one at a time, of course. Keep your brain oxygenated, okay, and release stress by doing sports.
Yeah, that's good.
New life insurance agent.
Learn how to market and sell.
A lot to that. Get a mentor. Get a mentor.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be my next word, mentor.
Proven track record.
Hmm. Very good. I'll just go off the words that you say, okay? So it makes it easier.
Okay.
Proven track record. That's a good one. I'll say YouTube channel, online content.
Extremely necessary to reach a wider audience.
Hmm. Consistency.
Consistency is key. Um, Add value to each video.
Okay. Um, Learn how to give value for free before you can ask for money.
100% agree with you. Well, that was it for our quick ping pong. That was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I am all ears. I know that you want to ask me some questions today, and
Yeah.
please go ahead and ask me anything you want. I am open here and honest. I also know, for me, Pavel, I gotta say that I understand since early age that life is not a popularity contest. So I don't expect every person to like me, and I'm not looking for friends when I'm doing business. Okay, so I am just looking to give value to others. So go ahead, please.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I think we're going to be brutally transparent, and that's awesome because we're in a trust recession right now, so transparency is super important. I guess the first thing I'd like to start off with is get an understanding of like how many agents you have in your total base shop right now, or super
Yes,
base included.
that's correct. And the way that we call our teams in Experior Financial Group, we have agencies and sub agencies.
Okay.
In other builder models, they call your base shop what is an agency,
Hmm.
and what they call like a super base or hierarchies is our sub agencies.
Got it.
So I have a total right now of 330 licensed agents between all the different levels of my agency and sub agency. And I'm very lucky for two reasons. One, it's actually three factors. The first one is I do work hard, okay?
Hmm.
Because you could have the best system, and not everyone is getting that success in 30 months. So working
Yeah.
hard is obviously a factor that has to be there always, okay? A constant. The
Hmm.
other one is I do have, through Experior Financial Group, a very unique opportunity, okay, that we are offering. Otherwise, again, I wouldn't be able to attract those licensed insurance agents, which is what I personally focus on.
Hmm.
And the third reason is I hedge on my leaders that I recruited directly. I never hug codes, and I help my team grow. So those are the ways that I have built it. Thank you. That's a
Got it.
great question, man.
Yeah. So a great offer, working hard, rowing in the right boat, and also you have kind of a sniper approach where you go for big dogs in the industry, right?
That's
So
correct.
can you talk a little bit more about that and how it came to be kind of your specific strategy?
Yes. So for me, and again, it's different for others, right?
Yeah.
For me, what I did, when I came back into financial services, and once I found about Experior and I was convinced to come in, I took a little bit of time before taking massive action. That was like public massive action, because what I did, I was taking action in the background,
Hmm.
learning what are the advantages that we have to really make sure that I pick my target audience and my target prospects.
Hmm.
So as soon as I knew that we really do have a system to attract both top producers and top builders, I said I'm going to stay focused into bringing licensed insurance agents. In the USA, there is approximately 1 million licensed life insurance agents. So within 1 million, I also believe that about 50% of them belong to legacy, um, outdated from my point of view, builder models that are paying very low commissions on the personal production of those agents. And they are also not giving them ownership of their book of business. So once I saw that, I said, there's at least 500,000 people with licenses that
Yeah.
could be in a more powerful opportunity. And that's why, I'm sure that you know the Wolf of Wall Street. These guys had a movie and everything,
Jordan
right?
Belfort. Yeah.
That's correct. I actually like his style. And in his book Straight Line,
Yeah.
which is very logical, is the fastest way to get between 2 points is a straight line, right?
Hmm.
So if I am focusing into growing my team with licensed agents, why not just go for licensed agents? And that's why I came with this. And others are doing it in a different manner, and that's fine too. Anyone can build a business however they want, but that's the way I decided to do it. And so far, I believe the numbers speak for themselves. I have I don't want to make this a monologue just about me, but I want to let you know, and for others that are out there considering other MGAs, IMOs, and even Experior. Okay, there is great leadership that we have here and in other companies, but with Experior, and I say with all respect to people who came before to the company, you know, right now I'm oscillating between the top 10 level. For like a few days, they kick me down to number 11, but top 10. Okay. That's fine. I like competition. Okay. And so the thing is, every single one of them who is above me on number of licenses, they have been in the industry way longer. Even though I
Mhm,
started many years ago, I left for 17 years. But what I learned in other industries, I transmitted it to here you know
mhm.
so really collapsing timeframes is real, and I believe what I'm doing is showing that what I do is more efficient. But again, I respect what they done others, how they do it. And yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, sorry,
Awesome.
maybe I
No, but
took
that's
too long on that
very
answer.
good insight.
Yeah,
So how do you snipe those people? And I know you're going to share some part of it, some part
yeah,
you'll keep for yourself, obviously.
yeah.
But like, do you use social media? Do you call them directly? How do you go about finding and contacting that list?
Yeah, so I'm gonna put it all out there. I'm not gonna hold to anything.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's right, because I want to bring value to everyone for two reasons too, and this is
Yeah.
part of how I'm recruiting, because right now we are live. So for sure, social media. Okay.
Hmm.
And when I joined Experior, I did it at the middle of the pandemic. Okay. And I came here with no licensed agents. And so the only way to grow at that point was digitally. Okay. The only way.
Yeah.
So the two social media channels that I use the most for life insurance agents is LinkedIn, because obviously I can filter people by just entering life insurance agent, and I focus my recruiting in the USA, even though I am in Vancouver, Canada, which is another advantage of Experior. I don't need licenses in the US, or any of you in the US. If you're Canadian, just have your license in Canada and you can prospect in the US for recruits. So I use LinkedIn. Okay. And why the USA? Again, is a bigger market. I also find, Pavel, like, I know you're Canadian, and I am also Canadian now for many years, but I find that Americans take action faster. Is maybe within the entrepreneurial spirit that they have. And there is a bigger market. So I do my search in LinkedIn for US licensed agents.
Okay.
And then what I do to supplement that, okay, is I add automation for my connection requests. And I just do not just send one connection request. I place a scenario of 6 different messages, and
Mm.
I supercharge it also, Pavel, because you're an expert in digital marketing. And for those who do not know Pavel, I respect him a lot. He's a young entrepreneur, but he is the real deal. Otherwise, I wouldn't be having him in my show. Okay. And so he is a master, and we'll talk about that in a bit. I know, but I believe that your expertise, or your top expertise, is Facebook, and I'll talk about that in a second, because it's very
Yeah.
powerful. For me, I use LinkedIn because I am just sniping. That's my number one. Okay. And one thing that I do, this is $1 million tip, guys, for everyone listening out there. Okay. LinkedIn has a limit, okay, of, I believe, 300 characters when you send your connection request.
Yep.
So in order to hack that, okay, what I do is I have always a text counter, or the number of different characters, and I count, and within the 300 characters I make sure that my link is there. So I always put a link within the 300 characters that will take them to a video, because obviously then in the video I can talk for longer, right? But I can still send it and make sure that that link is in the form of a GIF, because
Mm.
then when you are sending the connection request, people get to see you. And normally it's doing this for me. Just
Oh
this
yeah, I
dumb
see.
hello, you know what
Yeah,
I
that's
mean?
awesome.
Because you have to increase the click-through ratio, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. And so that's what I do. And then of course I have follow-ups. I'm going deep because you asked me to share.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing. That's actually
mhm,
something we found on our funnels recently. Also, we used to just put a thumbnail video,
mhm,
and we started on the thumbnail to also put a GIF, so
yeah,
they can already see the video before clicking on it, right? So there's
that's
some
right.
motion. It increases click through rate and all that. So it's definitely a great tip. 100%.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay,
So that's that. If anyone wants to know what software I use, you can message me. My contact information
right
is here.
there.
All that. What I'm gonna also do really fast. Let me see if I can share um, a QR code for you and for me. Okay. So let
Yep.
me just share it here. Share screen. Okay. Let me see. What am I gonna be sharing here? Entire screen. So there you go. Entire screen. I'm gonna share and let me go. Okay, there you go. That's a diving right there. But here you go. And the first thing that I'm sharing, I cannot see myself when I'm sharing this. Can you see the QR code there?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Oh, that's not good. Okay. It tells me that it's sharing, but maybe it's not. If it's not, I'm gonna stop the sharing
Yeah.
and I'll try to share your own QR code. Hopefully it shares entire screen. Share. You let me know if you
We
see a
see
QR
the
code.
diving still.
Dive in, that's it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not sharing. So I'll place it later. But
Okay. Cool.
yeah. So in any case, I can let you know um, what software I'm using. But the other platform that I use is Facebook.
Mhm.
Facebook is so important. Now, for me, the way that I do it, I join life insurance agents groups in the USA. But a lot of people are doing the same and they're not getting results.
Yeah.
You want to know why I get results there, Pavel?
Yeah. Of course.
Because I share valuable content, but I also create a lot of infomercials. I
Mhm.
create a lot of infomercials. And so I send contact requests and I also share my content inside those groups because people need to know that you know things. Otherwise, there is no value. So that's the two things that I do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's a great tip. I could do a lot more of that. Of course, we're more on the paid side, so
Yes.
we're like just throw money into social media, make the money back, and then just put more type of thing. But
Yeah.
it's definitely something that can boost your organic activity, right? Sharing in those groups who already have like 100,000 licensed agents in it. So
That's
that's
correct.
awesome. Another question I have for you is, what's your opinion on uplines who tell their recruits that there is no other way than going out in the street and or a Walmart and stuff like that, Home Depot, and just cold approach people that they see at the mall? What do you think about that?
What do I think? I think, well, if they say that this is the only way to do it, I think they're wrong. Okay. So
Yeah.
straight up, they're wrong. Um,
Hmm.
Now, that also works for people who are not familiar at all or they haven't trained their brain to use technology because you gotta do it one way or another. So I guess if they just do this nonstop in the street, they will be able to find some type of success,
Yeah.
and hopefully they can recruit someone that is younger or more technology savvy, and then they can hedge on that. That's the beauty about the systems that let you build in layers, right?
Yeah.
Because someone that maybe is not tech savvy, but the straight answer is that if your upline is telling you that's the only way, that upline doesn't know what he's talking about. It's straight up. Okay, we're living in 2024.
Yeah.
See, Pavel, there, you know this, I know this, and many people know this, but not everyone. There is no way that I can make enough phone calls fast as possible, or even go knocking on doors, you know, faster than I can share on social media, whether it's organically into groups or by paying ads, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna open this door for my puppy. Go, Kali.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah,
I think that everyone needs to find what works for them specifically, because there is no one prospecting or recruiting strategy that works for, that is going to be the most optimized strategy for everyone, right?
that's correct.
For
Yeah,
you, you found a strategy that's optimized for you. I'm sure not everyone on your team is using the same strategy, right? Um,
unfortunately not. Okay, unfortunately not. But it's
yeah.
normal. See, sometimes we, and I have done this mistake, but I used to do it more when I was younger. Okay, um, that you believe that everyone should be able to replicate what you're doing. Okay,
Hmm.
but there is a lot of other things that go along with that. It's not just giving people a roadmap. Some will do it, but other people, are not ready. They might not even have the time or the discipline. So
Yeah.
when you don't have the time and the discipline, there are solutions. There are solutions like hiring a professional that can do it for them, like in your case, and I'm gonna do some advertising for you, because obviously I have, interview you and I know about your system. So a solution. This is about giving people solutions. It's not about
Yeah.
confusing people.
Yeah.
They can do it the way I do it. Okay. You also have to have more patience the way I do it, because, even if someone calls me by attraction marketing, I'm not gonna recruit that person direct to me, because
Hmm.
now it's like going to a martial arts class. I know you're taking boxing, okay, but when you go to let's say karate, okay, or taekwondo, there is classes that are for like black belts. There are
Yeah.
classes for like yellow belts, right? So if someone is not at a certain level, what I do is I, match them with one of my trainers. So for me, it's a more, uh, you need to be more patient. It's like fishing. One day we'll go fishing together, okay, in the Caribbean. I have my boat. But when you are,
Absolutely. We'll go to
yeah,
Cozumel.
that's right, we'll do it, and we'll go do diving. But see, what I do is also more like deep sea fishing,
Mm,
because you are really diving deep and you are trolling in your boat,
yeah.
and I'm waiting because that line is going super deep, you know, I'm waiting for that bigger fish that is going to bring a school of fish with them. But, you know, I recommend for people who don't have the time or the knowledge, obviously it's going to cost them money, because you got to pay with time or you're going to pay with money,
Yeah.
And so I recommend that they go with a professional like yourself. Even to people in my team, if they're watching, you know, message me directly. And if you're not in my team, it doesn't matter in which IMO or MGA you are. I can
Hmm.
put you in touch with Pavel. And Pavel, please, in the last session, you share a little bit about your system, but give
Yeah.
us the condensed version, you know,
Yeah.
of what it is for recruiting. And go ahead, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like we were mentioning earlier, right? I don't want people to think that our system is the magic bullet that's going to fix their recruiting, because it's not, right?
That's right.
There's no such thing as that. At the end of the day, you will need to get results for yourself one way or another, right?
That's correct.
But it is a good system if you need more people to talk to, because at the end of the day, this is putting more people in front of you who have an interest to become insurance agents, right? Right now, we're cracking down on some ads to attract licensed agents, but currently, with the normal ads that we're running, it's only about 20% of the people who are already licensed. The
Mm,
other 80% are, people that have sales background, or they've done kind of their independent worker gig, and now they're looking for something where they have more earning potential, unlimited earning potential, and they
mhm,
can do it from home and remotely and all that. So you do get people who are a right fit for this business. But obviously, if you don't have leadership, if you can't teach them, if you can't lead them, they're not going to follow you. So that's
of
the
course.
part that no system can transform, right? You're going to need to build that yourself, unfortunately. But just in terms of providing numbers for people, we guarantee minimum 100 pre-qualified applicants like this, right? So a pre-qualified applicant is someone who is looking for a commission-based sales opportunity in financial services, whether they're licensed or not. So you get minimum 100 of those people per month who come into the funnel, right? So
Mhm.
typically that is going to equal to about 50 interviews that are booked per month. And with no show rates, depending on who's setting the appointment for you, right? We have an appointment setting team. Some clients set the appointments themselves. So the show rates can vary. So you could
Mhm.
get, minimum 20 to, let's say, maximum 35, 40 people showing up per month to an interview being pre-qualified. So with those numbers, we have agents in Experior getting 17, 20, 23 agents, direct agents per month from this. And we have agents in Experior getting, 3, 5 per month from this, even though they have the same system.
That's
So it
correct.
does depend on your performance. Now, this doesn't mean 23 license agents, right? Which is a whole other story that we can talk about on a next interview. How do we go from a recruit to a license agent, or should you just always go just for license agent? I think it's not a simple answer, but that can give an overall idea of what we do to people watching this.
That's correct. And the more that you speak about it, I'm imagining a few scenarios. Okay, but those numbers are really good. Okay,
Yep.
now I didn't know that about 20% of them are licensed agents. Now you're
Yeah.
picking my interest a little bit
You
more.
know what?
You
I
know,
didn't know that either until I started listening to the calls of our client
yeah,
scheduling team. And
yeah,
there are a lot of people who are licensed. But when I say licensed, they're not like, for example, those deep sea fishers, like they already got a hundred license under them.
yeah,
It's like people who kind of, got their hands dirty a little bit
of
in the
course.
industry a few years ago. Now they're wanting to get back into it, or they're already in it, but it's kind of working so. They're looking for better leadership, a better opportunity. So we got a
Mhm.
lot of those people coming in that system.
Okay, that's great. Let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
Um, let's say your system, because I don't know, I haven't received your list because I'm not one of your clients.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's say that one of my agents is interested. Okay, and here is what I like people to have attention on this, because you know in leads, no matter if it's for recruits or if it's for clients, some agents waste their money because they
Yeah.
jump the gun and they don't even know how to start a call or how to handle objections or nothing. Okay. And that's why Pavel said this is not a magic bullet. So
Hmm.
you still have to hedge on your trainers. Okay.
Yeah.
And I would recommend that if you buy a system like with Pavel or if you're using another one, that you have a trainer if your track record, if your capacity of recruiting or closing, okay, is not at least at 35%, okay, you should have a trainer with you in those calls, training you, or give those leads
Hmm.
to your trainer. So if one of my agents is watching this and is like, oh, man, I'm so interested, I want to get it, but I don't have this, the capacity yet. I don't know everything about Experior. I want to increase my numbers. Let's say that my agent wants to go ahead and purchase the system. Can you divide the leads or send me the leads to me so that the person can also see what I'm grabbing? and
Yeah.
then I can help them close. Can you do that?
Yeah,
Can you
that's a
divide
good
them?
question. Great question. And the answer might surprise you. Basically, it was such an important topic to not only get people, but also learn how to close them and recruit them and show value and lead them, that we had to install as part of our system an entire training process that everyone has to go through before they get their first lead. So we're not going to let anyone get leads unless they've gone through that. And part of that process, they get access to a client success manager who's going to do practice calls with them, listen to their calls, give feedback just on the appointment setting, but also on the actual recruiting call. So typically what we do, if agents are not independent at doing their own appointment right now, we actually are going to refer them to some free resources or some lower ticket recruiting programs where they can sort of play for a little bit, get some results, ramp up their numbers, and when they become independent is when we want them as a client. So to answer your question, we wouldn't take a client that can't run the appointments on their own, but we would ask for a referral, and hopefully we would talk to the upline and see if he's interested in doing that system, right? And the reason why we don't just separate the leads is for ease of communication and expectations. Because imagine if one of your agent purchases this system, goes through the whole information, the whole training, and then you or any upline jumps on a call and treat this as if it was a normal warm market referral or someone who just came from the family, right? Obviously, there's going to be some disruptancies. So just in order to get the best results possible, we prefer like turning down a client than bringing on a client who's not independent yet. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to a point, because
Mhm.
I gotta say that I'm very glad that you have a whole training system. But my specific question was, and this is something that might interest me and my
Yeah.
team. If they say sure, they're gonna pay for it. Of course, they have to pay for it because I don't
Yeah.
believe on welfare or anything like that, right? And so I'm already, busy giving them a lot of value.
Yeah.
Okay, but if someone wants to have a better chance of success, and depending in many things, I don't wanna bore you with all our
Yeah.
7 generations and all that stuff. But if I agree with one and I said, okay, sure, I'll help you with like 40 or 100 leads or whatever. You pay for it, okay, and I'll close them.
Hmm.
Will you be able to customize something, where they will arrive to me? They arrive to them, but they arrive to me as well, or give me access to sign up at their credentials, and then they can see the notes that I make there. Because I know
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
maybe with a
Absolutely.
webhook you can just send them the stuff to like a Google Sheet or Excel sheet or whatever, but maybe
Hmm.
that could also work with some of them.
Yeah, yeah, we do that, especially when we work with, let's say, husband and wife, right?
Mm.
And they both need a different access to the CRM. They both need to like distribute leads and appointments. So we do offer the entire like lead distribution system. But when it comes to like a client, let's say one of your downline, right, pays for this system, sets appointments for their upline, and then the upline runs the meeting. We don't do that. We don't do
Mhm.
that currently. It would actually probably smarter, which is something we do secretly with some big leaders in the industry, is we actually have our client scheduling team book, group presentations twice a week. So for
Mhm.
example, you purchased this system, got some of your few of your team members to pitch in, right?
Mhm.
And we book, let's say, 15 people twice a week for a group presentation. You run the group presentation, you close them, and then distribute the meetings. So we found, or the new recruits, we found that to be more effective than doing one-on-one presentations with the upline that didn't buy the system. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, and to me, because they're gonna be non-licensed, most of them. One of
Yeah.
the things that I do tell my team even right now, okay, And again, because the bulk of my team is in sub agencies, they're not inside my agency. I keep
Yeah.
a small agency, okay? Then obviously the first responsibility is for the executive director of them, the direct one, right?
Yep.
But a lot of them want me to give them a hand and help. So I am very clear and I go like, I'll help you, but you gotta book me in my calendar and you gotta make sure that you only bring one-on-ones with me if they are licensed. I am very
Mhm.
strict there. If they are not licensed, I already run group presentations. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And they can
Yeah.
also watch videos because I'm not gonna be explaining to someone what life insurance is and spend 50 hours there to then see if they want to come to the industry and all this. But
Hmm.
if you can organize and run those, then you and I should chat about that and I can put it out there to my team. And for sure, they have to pitch in because there is nothing free in this life,
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just continue just recruiting directly for myself and helping the ones that want to do it the way that I let them know how to do it.
Yeah.
But it does make sense. And it also makes sense to some of them, again, some of the ones that I'm working very directly with. I almost don't have directs, but
Yeah.
I make exceptions. And if someone is willing, you know, to pay for the system with you, and we can run on a similar base as when you have like spouses running together where we can access, I might be, willing to enter, and I'll have my own agreement with these directs. It's another thing that I want to mention to others who do not know about the Experior system. We can recruit a person and split the recruit in three ways. So that way, obviously it's not just splitting for splitting. You gotta split the responsibilities of those agents and the downlines. But I'm okay doing those with certain people. So there you go. That's awesome, man. It's
That's
getting more and
awesome,
more
man.
interesting to see your system and stuff.
Absolutely. Well, this is, I didn't realize we've already been going for 30 minutes. um,
Yeah,
but it's always a great discussion. And I feel like we could go on for hours talking about that. So we should definitely do a third episode in a few
we
weeks.
will we will do it. So remember, if you are watching us in any social media channel, subscribe so that you can see the next episode. And also, I encourage you to browse through all my videos because I have free tips on digital marketing, attraction marketing, mindset, recruiting techniques, why I truly believe that we're more powerful than any other builder system and also any other IMO for personal producers, and to stay, up to date in our global expansion because we plan to expand into Mexico in the first trimester of 2025. So again, make sure that you subscribe, you share with others, share with your agency, with your uplines, with your downlines, with your sidelines, with your friends, with your enemies, with everyone. Okay. Make sure you follow also uh, Pavel. Okay. He has great content. My information is on the ticker. You can just stop this video at any time. If you are watching it in a short format, then you can reach me and see the longer video in YouTube at HRV Financial. And Pavel, where can they reach you?
Fondacomedia.com or Pavel underscore BOISS on Instagram.
Excellent. And I truly recommend you Pavel's system. Now, it's going to work wonderful no matter which IMO or MGA you are with. Just keep in mind one thing. In order to achieve the numbers and the success that I've been able to achieve within the last 30 months, you're going to need not only Pavel's system, but you're going to have a very compelling, unique offer and opportunity. And Experior Financial Group tops any other one. So the perfect combination that you could do is join Experior and contact Pavel. That's the winning combo. And then within Experior Financial Group, because some people might be still checking out teams, okay, and with any other IMO, always interview the recruiter. Interview the recruiter. Do not sign up with the first person that talks to you about one system. You gotta ask them what is in it for you, and gotta make sure that you have chemistry with your trainer. Now, if that trainer, for whatever reason, doesn't have the chemistry but has a big, team, they can put you in touch with others on the hierarchy. But make sure that you ask for that value. What makes your team different than any other team in Experior Financial Group? Because anyone could have success joining any team. Experior gives you the tools. But what we do at the Icebreakers Team of Champions is put an extra layer. Okay, we have our own team app. We have training in English, French, and Spanish for Canada, the USA, and Puerto Rico, and no other team has it. You also have to check the credentials that the team leader has. Okay, so you can check my LinkedIn because they say talk is cheap. And with that, I wish you all a great day. I thank you for being here, Pavel. I thank everyone for watching this video, and we will see you all at the top of
Thank you,
success.
guys. Bye
See
bye.
you. Bye bye.